Buenas, buenas.
Sure. There we go. Oh my god, we switched sides.
But we did, no, since
Paula. Yeah. I was sitting here for Paula.
let's switch it up. Oh, wow. Having the headphones, it's a different experience.
For who?
For the one having the headphones.
I know, maybe you won't chew your gum so loud.
I wasn't chewing gum the last time I was eating peanuts. But I did it on purpose. I was like...
No, I don't like opening my hair because then I feel like I look like I have the Zika virus.
You can do half up, half down. No, sometimes you do all up. Sometimes you do all down. Something in between.
Today we're in Bavarian uniform.
Yes. Well, we're debating. Mine is inspired by French military and a little bit, maybe a little bit of German. A little bit.
I'm Mama Brownie.
I'm Baby Brownie.
And you are listening to
Unfiltered.
And Undiagnosed.
Wait.
And Unqualified.
Unqualified.
Thanks for coming.
Are we adding the unqualified?
No, I don't know.
No. Okay.
It is
So
what it is.
Today's topic
Today's theme
is something that every queer person goes through.
Willingly or
once,
unwillingly.
Yes. In their lives.
Yeah.
Coming out.
Again.
Wing, 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 wing.
Oh, there's a button for that one.
What? Yeah. Oh, wow. You know the sound of each button.
Nope. I
That was
just
just like,
guessed. And I don't know why
period.
it's green because
I would imagine it to be like...
rojo.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm Latin American.
She's Latin American. But you are. You're Jamaican.
Yes, we talked about this once that Central America is classified as Latin America.
Central America, yes. I'm also
Mexico,
Central
yeah.
America.
Yeah.
We're Hispanics.
Yeah. Jamaica's not Hispanic. It's English. It was.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't.
But you're Latin America.
Sí, se puede.
So anything that is not Canada, USA, in the American continent is considered
Latin.
Latin American. Mostly Hispanics.
And Portuguese.
Portuguese, yeah. And I guess Jamaica.
But like all of the Caribbean islands speak, Spanish, French, English. And obviously they all have their indigenous languages and their Creoles. But yeah.
Yeah, but we also have a lot of indigenous languages. Even more people speak them than Spanish.
Yeah, but like most of the islands were colonized by the English.
Yeah. Yep. True, but that's a topic for another episode.
Or never.
Or never, because
you learned that in school.
Period.
Unlike indigenous history or whatever.
Unless you want us to educate you, then pay us.
Yeah, we haven't earned a cent from this podcast yet.
Yet. But if you keep saying it, the universe is speaking that.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't
I'm
say
so
that.
thankful and glad that we have sponsors
Yes.
every week.
Don't say that because the universe will pick it up.
I said
so
yet.
You have to say, we are on the way to earn the coin. We are
Manifestation.
earning the coin. Because we are what?
A star.
Oh, I was going to say abundance. But yes,
Oh.
also.
Sorry, I was thinking of Tita from last week.
Honestly, thank you, Paula, for blessing us with... That was such a good episode.
Yeah, Venus is in retrograde.
Yeah, and I guess it's gonna still be in retrograde.
I feel like that's also the only planet that's ever in retrograde.
No, Mercury as well.
Mercury
And Jupiter.
and Jupiter.
Do you know any about like,
Astrology?
or just planets in general?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I know that Pluto's not one of them.
So what is it?
Ice Queen.
So what is it?
Pluto is a moon.
It's a planetoid.
Whatever. I even forget because there's like a short phrase to remember all the planets.
So which do you know the order? I always struggle.
No. That's the thing where it's like my mother, blah, 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 blah.
I just know that the Earth is number 3, but I guess because we live on it.
Do we?
I don't know. Maybe we're just AI generated holograms.
That's my alien language.
Sounded more like a sea animal, but
Oh my god, but the sea is not a planet. I'm shutting up.
Wow. Okay, you need coffee. Drink your coffee.
I don't know. I think it's just the tiredness of it all.
I think it's just the weather changing and Mercury being in retrograde. Venus.
Mars. There's Mars
Mars
too.
Also.
Jupiter,
but Mars, yeah.
Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget about Uranus.
Saturn is the one with the rings. And Uranus is a purple one.
Okay.
Yeah. I think.
What other planet has rings?
Huh?
There's another planet that has rings.
No, it's just one. Saturn.
Oh my god, I don't want to Google this. I thought I would know the answer.
No, I think it's just one.
I don't think so. But would you go to Mars if you could?
No.
Because?
Why would I go through that stress?
I don't know.
I already have enough. I don't want to.
You're already an alien.
I'm already an alien. Yes. No. I don't think so. Would you?
I mean, there's a fascination about space. So kind of interesting.
Yeah, but why would you want to be there when you can just be comfortable here?
I don't know. The undiscovered. Once upon a time, not long ago.
I made a hope.
When I was in university and there were like all of these new college students. Why did I say university and college? University, and there were all these new students from abroad and they were like set in their ways. And I was always like, open your horizon, try something new. Here, try this disgusting German food. This unseasoned sausage. And yeah, so I'm like, you know what? If there's an opportunity for me to go to Mars.
But all paid or inclusive.
Well, obviously, I can't even pay my rent.
Why are you putting that in the universe?
And it's not. It's just a state. It's just a phase. Oh yeah, that's a good cute segue. It's just a phase, girl.
It's just a phase. Just like coming out. It's just a phase. I heard that way too many times.
I never heard it once.
Yeah.
So, let's start from the beginnings. First coming out.
Trauma.
Okay.
Yeah, tell us about your first coming out.
Oh, mine was fine. Everyone was like, oh yeah, I knew it.
But did you have to say it or?
I said it, but I didn't have to, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, for me it was weird because they were like, my mom was like, I knew it, but then
The reality.
yeah, but even like she was like, I knew it, but still question it. Like, oh no, maybe you're just confused because you are a dancer and the ballet world is very open. Like, you know, you live abroad, and I was like,
Wait, you came out when you were in Florida?
When I was in
California?
No, when I was in Germany, my first year.
Oh my god! Weren't you already like 25? I'm joking.
That was you.
That was me. Yes.
No.
How old are you? 18.
18.
18. You came out with 18.
Yeah, 17, 18. Yeah.
And then when you were in California, is it California?
Yes.
You were
14
to 18.
No, 15. Yes, 14 to 8. Yes.
And you were dating who?
I was dating girls.
Oh my god!
Like
that's
a
so
lot
crazy.
of girls. And then at the end of my junior year, which is like the 11th grade, I fell in love with my best friend, and we were
the one that I met, who came to Germany once.
No, he's my other best friend.
Okay, sorry.
We came closer because I started dating the other one, so we kind of just got closer.
Drama.
Yeah. But no, I fell in love with my best friend, and we were roommates at the time.
Oh my god!
So we had to keep it a secret because we couldn't live together if we were dating.
Okay, so you were actually he fell in love with you too.
He fell in love with me first. But I didn't know. I was very clueless.
Oh my God, did you talk about this in the first podcast with Alessandro?
No.
Okay, good. Don't want to be repeating.
No, I don't actually. Actually, no. And I don't know, you will know if you watch the episode.
Yeah.
How you be doing?
How you doing? Free Wendy Williams.
Huh?
Free Wendy Williams.
Free Britney. Yeah, and then he fell in love, but I was so clueless. I was like, oh, we're best friends, blah, blah, blah. And he kind of wanted to be with me 24/7. Like and I just was like, oh, we're like true best friends. Like we're connecting. But I wasn't picking up on that, you know?
You didn't have butterflies in your stomach and vagina?
No, because I was dating this girl, but I knew I was a homosexual. Like I always knew I liked men. But I always suppressed it, and I always dated girls, I guess, just to put an image and say, I'm not gay.
You don't want to be the gay Mexican.
Exactly. Like, no. So then one night, oh my gosh, I'm saying all of this, and I shouldn't, because if anybody from my high school watches this, like teachers, whatever, they'll be like,
what are they going to do?
Yeah, but I don't know.
They can't do anything.
Anyway.
But if you don't want to talk about it, don't.
It's fine. Just briefly. Just so like, no, just so like how I came out, because it was chaotic.
I don't know you are non-chaotic.
And then one night we were watching a scary movie, and we were in the same bed watching a scary movie, and we just started to kiss and to feel each other and kind of like,
boom,
you know. But I had a girlfriend at the time. And let's say that the
pyramids were rising.
They were rising. They were the highest they could be.
Oh, damn.
You know, and then the next day I acted like
nothing happened.
And it was such an asshole move from me to do, because
when you don't know what's happening with your body and your heart, it's
and hard. I mean, I was 18. Like, I knew. This was like before graduating.
I mean, there's also the coming out to yourself.
Yeah, of course. Like, the thing is, like, I always knew, and he didn't know he was gay. And he had these feelings for me, and then he was like, what is this? Because I thought I was straight. Like, it was the opposite. Like, I always knew I was gay. And he thought you know, but then he started to have these feelings for me. And that's how he realized maybe I'm gay. Like, I'm gay. And it was a whole trauma, because then he was Colombian. He had to go back to Colombia for like a few months because he was very bad mentally. Sorry that I'm saying all this drama. He missed classes. We stopped talking. Like, he was damaged from that one night, and mostly because I denied it, and I kept saying like, no, I'm straight.
You sent somebody back to Colombia.
I did.
Do you feel bad about that?
I did.
Okay.
And it was it was because we went through hell. Like, there was also at the time, some of our friends started to pick sides, because we were also in the same group of friends. And then like people were like coming at me saying like, I'm this, I'm that. And then without knowing the story, you know, because I was also afraid to come out and to admit that I liked men. But it was fine. Like, at the end, our friends were so understanding, but it was mostly people that weren't really our friends. They were just like students in the school that we would get along, or kiki sometimes. And then he came back from Colombia, and everything was good. We talked it out. And also, he went through a lot of bullying, because he was also dating a girl at the time when this happened. And then people kept bullying him, being like, oh, this girl turned you gay. And like, they would bully the girl as well and be like, oh, your boyfriend's a homosexual. Like, it was wild.
Wow.
It was really
Kids are
bad.
The worst.
Yeah. And then after he came back from Colombia, like, slowly we were roommates, but it was impossible because we weren't talking, but we lived in the same like room. So it was
then what
horrible.
Like, something must have happened.
Yes. And then I remember slowly talking again, and then me being like, just follow your heart, because you're falling in love with him as well. Like, I remember just like he would change, or he would be cleaning, because we had like mandatory cleaning sessions on Sundays at certain hours. So like we would be doing it, but he would always be doing it in his underwear. So I would be like, clock the tea. I would be like, what is this? And I would catch myself looking at him and like kind of being like, I cannot go on without talking to him.
Okay.
You
And
know?
then?
And then we talked, whatever. And then we started dating secretly.
Wow.
And we had also the same classes. We were both in the same year. We had same classes. We were both dancers because it was an art school. So we both happened to be dancers as well. And then I remember in classes, sometimes we would miss classes just because we stayed in the room.
Fucking.
Well, not really, because we also didn't know much about how sex worked between, you know. So we were just kind of like, okay. But it was so cute because then in classes we would be like, and like kind of secretly hoping that nobody would see us, like being like, you know. But I feel like at this point everybody knew because
the way you were just looking at each other.
And it was just because that drama was such a huge drama in our year and carried throughout like our graduation.
Teachers said nothing and they didn't notice anything.
The teachers knew, the teachers noticed. Like we had dorm parents, they loved us, and I feel like they knew. Like my dorm, because I was a prefect at the time, and I also had the privilege to choose where to live, and I chose like one of the nicest rooms, which happened to be next to one of the dorm parents. So it was also like
hear you technically,
and like so it's from that point on. That was junior year, and then senior year. Our ballet teacher, actually, I remember he called us into his office and he was like, okay, I want to talk to you both because I've heard rumors that you guys are in a relationship and this is not okay if you're roommates. Like, it's okay that you guys explore your sexuality. He was super kind. He was like, I was also exploring with girls and boys. You know, I had my fun, and it's beautiful that you are both experiencing this with each other, also with the relationship that you have. But if it's true, you have to request a roommate change because this is not okay. And we both were like, no, we're just best friends, because we were also afraid to admit, you know, to like the world. I guess he was also, I guess, doing it for me, because now at this point he was more out, but I wasn't. So I think he was also very doing it for me.
But the student has to request a roommate change, like the dorm
no,
parent
the thing
couldn't?
is, like, one dancer told them that we were dating and that we were roommates. So like she was just,
yeah, but like if you lied and you didn't change rooms, but if you would have not requested a roommate change, could the dorm parents force you to change?
no, because we said no, and they were like, we trust you.
Yeah, okay, I guess they didn't smell the cum in the room.
No, they knew. I feel like they knew, especially one of my the dorm parent. He was such a lovely person to me, and he was also homosexual, and the one living next to us, and he was so sweet. He would like host brunch on Sundays with all the gays of the
school,
of just the dorm, or because we had different dorms.
Like gay brunch.
It was like a gay brunch with the students, and he was so sweet. He would like provide food for us, and you know, we were like juniors and seniors, so we were like 17, 18 teenagers, just having fun with our teacher, just being you know. And all of the homosexuals in the school were very like flamboyant and outgoing. One was like he loved to do drag. Now he's in UK Drag Race. He's like super famous now, super cute. So like he would host these things. So then they couldn't force us, but you know, it was like more of like fear of coming out for me. And then we graduated and we went on. And then after, like, people at this point, we were both no, actually we did change for our senior year, for our last year, just because we were like, it's gonna be healthier to just be in separate rooms. So we did change in our last year. And then when we graduated, we spent the summer in Miami together. And then I came to Europe. He stayed in LA. We tried to do long distance, but it was just like, we will never see each other again like this, you know?
The camera's gonna die.
Oh no. Do you want to charge it?
Yeah, the other battery's charging.
Oh. And then later I came to Germany and I came out to my mama.
Bam, that whole story.
Yeah, he now, actually, last time I saw him, he's still in LA dancing for like famous people and stuff. But last time I saw him was when we went on tour with the company.
Did you
And
rekindle?
yeah, a little bit. I can't say much about it. But he told me, he asked for my consent if I would be okay if he went to producers to make a movie about our story, because it's very chaotic but like beautiful.
What is it called? The Little Liars?
Maybe, I don't know. But then I said like, yeah, sure, but I need credit, or like at least I need to be part of it, because
Yeah.
you know. So I don't know. Maybe that idea died because now then he went on busy and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch Little Liars on Netflix, that dance show, very that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, true. Pretty Little Things.
Oh yes, Pretty Little Things.
Yeah.
Little Liars.
So yeah, that's how I came out. It died?
No,
Oh.
but it's going to. But it's perfect timing for a commercial break.
Is
Anyway,
it 20
from the
minutes? Oh my gosh.
sponsors, yeah, because
I was just talking about me.
That's all right.
I
There's
hate
space
it.
for that. There's space for that. And it's not your fault. I don't know. I feel like that should be said.
Also, you need to tell me you're coming out.
Oh.
Sponsor.
We would like to thank today's sponsor, the patriarchy. Thank you so much for reinforcing heteronormative values and heterosexuality as a standard for life. Only through this and through the trauma that you bring upon us, we're able to create this content. Thank you so much for being the sponsors of today's podcast. Namaste. Oh, fuck, I need to turn the screen.
Because you can't see yourself. Okay, now, thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you so much.
That was lovely. Now right back at you.
Well, I don't have an interesting story like that at all. And honestly, when it comes to storytelling, I'm not that one. I'm not the one to be telling stories.
But just tell us. Were you in Jamaica? Or were you in Germany already?
Yeah, I was in Jamaica and I started dating this man who, well, he was a student. I was 18. Yeah, 18, and he was already a university student. And the rumor was going around that he had an STI. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Safe sex should be fine, right? But we lived in a house that was like a house that was divided, but not by actual walls, but just like, you know, a little thicker piece of wood. And then this part of the house belongs to us, this part to another person, and then another person somewhere else. And obviously, Jamaica, homophobic, criminalized, and all that jazz. My mom was like, you can invite him over when I'm not there, but you are not allowed to have sex.
Little did you know, that's exactly what happened.
Exactly, that's what happened.
The question is, did you get the STI?
The question is, did I get no, and then I got, we used protection, and then I threw away the condom, and then I took out the trash. And that already for my mom was like, okay, something's up.
That was a coming out.
No, I came out before that, but that was like nothing. And then, yeah, she said I could not see him anymore. And I was kind of like, yeah, I'm okay with that. And I didn't fight for it. I did for a little bit, but then I was like, you know what? It's okay.
But you guys went to the same school, huh?
No, we went to the same dance school. Well, my dance school was like divided / half a year. There was like a little musical department. And yeah, that's where we kind of met.
And then you never saw him again?
Yeah, because our lives didn't really align. So we didn't really see each other. Yeah.
And he took your V card? No, that was so wrong.
But what do you mean, how was that wrong?
I don't know. I saw something where like you shouldn't ask like taking the V card. But
Yeah, I shouldn't ask my age. That's what. I don't know. Yeah, he did. We did. Well, I did. He didn't. But I lost my virginity to him. Well, one of the two, you know. One of the three, you know. One of the four. I don't know how many you got.
Okay,
Yeah.
cat.
And that was it.
It was cute still. Adventurous.
Yeah. I don't know. Nothing excites me.
Apparently.
No, it was cute. It was cute. But then there's like a forbidden love story that I shall not expose on the internet.
Why?
Because it's borderline illegal. And
Do I
that's
know
all I'm
this
going to
story?
say. I think you do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Can I ask why was it illegal?
Age difference.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
work.
But I feel like a lot of people have that. Like a lot of people in the queer community. No, a lot of gays. No,
No,
trans
queer
women as well.
lesbians, I think maybe also.
I'm not so. I'm not so.
I don't know. Yeah,
no,
but I would say that is very common within
the
the
gays.
LGBTQ.
Yeah.
G. Tiqua.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm. One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how do you say it? Like it's canonic. No, I don't know. Whatever.
But I remember what was more dramatic was when I came out as a vegetarian. And
But honestly, yeah. I feel, oh my God. To your family.
To my family. I was my first stepmother. Yes, because I have many. My first stepmother, she cooked a lamb roast, and she never cooks. So she literally just cooked a lamb roast and noodles. Not noodles, yeah. The German version of pasta. And that was it. And gravy. And the day she cooked it, because we wouldn't really eat together in the evenings in the week because they were trying to run their own business with my dad. And I said, yeah, I don't eat meat anymore. So I just ate noodles for dinner.
Did
She
she
was
get
like,
offended?
oh my God, I cooked it this evening and you're not even going to eat it. And then I started buying like food supplements. Oh God, I have to go so far back, but I won't. And then I started buying food supplements like tofu and then putting it just in a section because everybody else was still eating meat.
Mm.
And then she was like, you want me to label my food so people don't eat it? Although she was already labeling her food because she was the only person eating Weight Watchers. So it would be like finished meals. Anywho, that was a big thing. That was drama.
And what happened to her?
I don't know. She's living her life somewhere else.
Well, you see.
You
But
came out as a vegetarian?
Yeah, I was vegetarian for a few years. Not so
In
long
LA
ago.
or here?
Here, not so long ago. And so like every summer when I would go back to Mexico
Oh, yes.
and be with my family,
the Latin American
it
kitchen.
was like,
Beans and rice.
but honestly, it was also like a problem to just survive. One, two, my family wouldn't understand and still doesn't, I think, the concept of being a vegetarian, because last time I was there,
Your family or your like parents and uncles and aunts and everybody older than you? Your hermana también?
one of my sisters, my sister, one of them, she's also vegan, kinda. Like she has a very different diet from the rest of my family, and they were like, last time we were there, I was there with my ex, and he's a vegetarian since birth, and they were trying to make him eat meat.
Oh my God, I feel so sorry.
So like the first night we got there, we went grocery shopping, also because it was like midnight, but the supermarkets are open
24/7.
So we were doing like the list, and then my mom goes like, oh, what do you guys want to eat now? Are you hungry? I can make maybe do you want some chicken tacos or like pork tacos? And I was like, no, it's meat, and he doesn't eat meat. And then she was like, okay, well, chicken. And I was
fish.
like, no. I was like, no, it's still meat. And she's like, but it's white. It's white meat. And I was like, no. And then my sister goes like, oh, well, then I can make some like scrambled eggs with ham. And I was like, that's also meat. And she's like, but it's ham. It's cut. Like it. And I was like, so I don't think or maybe they were just like being silly about it. But I don't think so. But yeah, they were like, what? So every time I go, I get diarrhea.
Fun fact, y'all.
Just gonna drop it there.
But you eat meat now.
More.
I mean, we've been eating meat.
Yes.
Since we've been together.
I try not to eat so much red meat, but chicken, yes, I do more. But if like the occasion happens, like it's fine. I'm not like strictly.
I didn't eat because I didn't have meat.
Yeah, but yeah, now
Now you eat a different kind of meat. Now that you're above, now that you came out,
Period.
OTA,
Yeah.
y'all. OTA.
But because it's coming out again. What do you mean with again? Damn.
So this is gender fluid, not binary. Did you come out to your family?
I don't think I actively was like, I'm non-binary. I think because the first time I didn't do it because I wanted to come out. Like, I always thought it's so stupid that we queer people have to come out in the first place. So I did it just for them because I knew that they needed the reassurance that I was a homosexual at the time. So when I came out as non-binary, I did not actively say it to them. But I will be like, yeah, I just don't identify with these genders, I'm in between, like, my expression. And then conversations started to flow more from their side, being like, my sister asked me like, but do you feel like you are a woman? Do you feel like you could be trans? It was very nice conversations that we had, because then they were trying to understand more. So I didn't have to be like, Mom, Dad, I'm non-binary,
Yeah.
It was more like, I like this, and if you don't understand it, it's not my problem to teach you, And they got it, and they later like started to do their own thing. But they would ask me also like, okay, we see that you prefer these pronouns, but like, we're probably gonna make mistakes, but we don't wanna hurt you. Like, the mistakes that we make, we don't do it so that you get offended, or that we, and I was like, you know what, it's fine, because my beer got stuck with the mic. That was painful. But it's just for us to understand. And then I was like, hey, it's fine, because like, yeah,
It happens. Yeah, we're all human.
I'm like, but it's also like they will never make that change just because
It's so embedded into their system. And
yeah,
they
that
don't wanna
it's
reprogram.
too late for them to be programmed. Even if they wanted to, it's not in their system to want to learn about it. Because they were like, oh, but send me the books, or like, what? I'm like, no, just like you see all these silly YouTube videos, do the same. Like, the content is there, Or my mom would be like, yeah, because my mom doesn't know how to read. She's like, yeah, but I don't know how to read. Like, I can't read. And I'm like, no, but you're always on YouTube, like TikTok. The content is there, And she'll be like, yeah, but I'm like, Mom, and I've been telling her, like, it's just excuses, if you. And she does, and it comes from her heart, and it's very pure. But that's why I'm also not angry about the fact that they will never respect my pronouns, because it's honestly more like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life being angry at you because, it's bigger than that. Like, it's just so. But however, I do get angry when, well, not angry, but it's like when you have to come out frustrated, like at work or like with people that I hang out often. I mean, it only happens at work. But
yes, because we built a beautiful bubble, y'all.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, are there any friends that misgender me? Actually, no.
Yeah.
Like, everybody, new people lately that I've met also.
You're meeting new people?
Like, at work.
Oh.
But it's like, they don't ask me my pronouns. It's also because, to me, we're living in an era that social media is so in our lives.
I mean, if you post your TikToks 2 times a day, obviously.
What do you mean?
You post TikToks?
But not about my gender.
At least once a month, you post a little
Yeah,
rant.
when the feelings get piled up, I'm like, I'm gonna get TikTok about it.
Let me do a story.
Let me just go to therapy. Edit, post. No, but like,
but yeah, I know
they see on my profile like pronouns, they, them.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't come and be like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And people that also have social media, and they see these pronouns and everything, and they know, they still choose to actively do it. And I don't know if it's because they're scared, or I don't know, or they feel uncomfortable, because it is what it is. They feel uncomfortable because they don't understand it, but it's fine. So it's more like at work, I'm like, but then I just let it go, and I'm like, whatever. But I don't think I would come out again kind of thing. Have like the whole, hello, I'm non-binary, my pronouns are they, them.
No.
What about you? I don't know.
What about me? I don't know. I didn't really directly come out, like have the whole conversation, like the first round of like, hey, look, but like, Yeah. It was just a Facebook change for me. Facebook status update.
Yeah.
And then getting frustrated with family because they can't get the pronouns right. But yeah. But my sister is very active. Active and supportive, I guess. Like she doesn't fuck up too much. Because we're all humans, you know. But she always corrects herself. My mom's still in the process of learning how to use the pronouns in the Deutsch. And because with her, I had a whole little lesson. Like, look, instead of saying son, you can say child. Instead of referring to me as one person, maybe try plural. Then you still have your correct fucking German because so many people care about having correct grammar in German.
Das.
Yeah. But with my dad, I was a little bit more impatient. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because internalized daddy issues. I was like, look, Dad, these are my pronouns and you're an educated man, so get with the program. Yeah.
But I don't know, like, what's that about? Because, for instance, like, my ex-in-laws, the first time they met me,
They got it.
they got it. I didn't even, like, my ex had a talk with them. And he was like, yeah, just that Ricky feels comfortable, you know, they go by these pronouns, blah, blah. And then...
But those are not, like, to me, that doesn't seem like a typical German family. No offense. Because they're also,
they lived in Spain for many years.
Yeah.
But also, like, I remember once he told me, like, after a week or maybe a month we were dating, he told me, like, yeah, my dad got a book about, like, non-binary people.
Oh my God, that is
like,
the cutest thing.
He's reading it so that you don't feel uncomfortable. And, like, and to me, that was, like...
Can
you, like...
Can you be my dad?
I was like... Can you teach all these older German people? Like, can you... What?
Yes.
I was so... And up to this day, like, I talk to his mom often.
His
like,
mom is our number one fan.
Chatting, texting. Like,
Does she listens to the podcast?
best.
You know?
She does. I think she does. Like, she supports us so much. And so I'm like, it's not that hard. And I just don't understand why so many other people
are fighting,
are not open to it, and they want to like be like, you know. But I'm like,
yeah,
why?
they're like fighting for tradition. And if you look at history, like what tradition people used to fight for, and you're being that hindrance of change, which is completely fine because, you know, change is scary, but like,
but also at least you had.
Sorry, it's not fine, but it is what it is. Yes. Sorry.
I know what you mean when like saying it's fine, because it's like it's. You at least had the energy and time to explain to your mom or like give her the hints and stuff. For instance, me, I was very like, I know I don't want to drain my energy with this, and I know it's my family and I love them and they love me. But I don't want to waste my energy, and I don't want to put that there because I'd rather just be good. It's okay. You call me guapo. You... mi niño, you know, like this masculine. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Like, it's fine. I know they will never understand it. And I'm just thankful that I have a family, you know, like so many queer people don't have this. So I want to hold on to that and be like, at least I can have a roof when I come visit Mexico. And like, I can still talk with them and have conversations and like connect through other things, because I also don't want it to be a topic all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying not to have that as my personality, because I'm much more than that. Like, it is a big part of me, but also like, you know, because I know how, like, I had many years where I felt I didn't have that support system from my family, and it wasn't cute. So now that they have accepted that, with the mistakes and all, I'm like, I want to hold on to that. And I just want to keep that. Like, I don't want to go through this process again of like feeling so drained and so lonely and stuff. So that's why I think where my, you know, being like, it's okay, misgender me, it's okay, whatever. Like,
there is, I was reading, started reading the book of fuck, I forgot the name, but it's from Bell Hooks, and it was talking about love and dynamics of love and how we like hold on to love even sometimes though it's like toxic, it's not good for us, but we keep telling ourselves that is love, and like finding out the meaning of love, and especially when it comes to family and existence and realities, it's really difficult and really hard.
It's really hard because
Would you rather have a mom that misgenders you, or would you rather not have a mom at all?
yeah, and I think that was perfect, and I think that's why that's my thinking of like I'd rather have a mom.
Yeah.
You know, because yeah, also, I mean, I don't want to put it in the spot, but like seeing other families or queer kids lose their mom, whether it's because they're queer, because they pass away or whatever, you know, it's also like, I just rather have a mom that misgenders me, but still loves me because
her sort of way.
Like she sees me, like and that's the thing, like she sees me, she sees my femininity, she sees my masculinity, she sees how I dress. Like one time she told me like, yeah, you have both energies and that's what makes you so special and so beautiful. And I was like,
amen.
You know? So,
Damn.
and that all those comments, I'm like, she sees it, she gets it, but it's not in her system to call me the way that I would prefer. And I'm okay with that, you know? So I think, and that's in general. My dad, he avoids using pronouns, actually.
Well, I love that.
Yeah. He just calls me by my name.
That's so good.
Or he sometimes calls me like hijo, like son. But I think it's just because it's in his system. And it's also, I feel like I put myself in his shoes and be like, I'm his only son. So I guess it's also like a pride.
Air quotes for the people on Spotify.
Yep. So it's, you know, and knowing also, because my dad is such a special person.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, he comes from a background of, you know, he fought so much that I'm like, you know what, I just see the love that you have for me. So it's, you know, that transcends you misgendering me. Yeah. That got deep.
Yeah. But like today, oh wait, I think this is where the queer says, thank you so much for sharing.
Who?
I don't know. That's a thing, you know?
Me?
No. Well, no. Me. What? I say thank you for sharing.
Of course. Because trauma bonds.
Trauma bonds. Today I had a meeting in another space. And, you know, like when you introduce yourself, you know, the LGBT allyship way of introducing yourself is to say your pronouns. Doesn't really happen much, I feel. So then I don't introduce myself with pronouns. So then the whole misgendering is just from the get-go. But today she was about to call me, I have to speak about like how to gender in German. But for those that know how to gender in German, she was about to say that the masculine version, and then I corrected her to a gender neutral version immediately, which to me is also like a bit a coming out every time you meet somebody new and you want to know you want them to know what the tea is instead of them asking. I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird because like, I don't know if you feel this, but sometimes I feel like it puts us in the position of
you're difficult.
And yeah, and you're difficult. You're making people go out of their way. But then I'm like, well, I go out of my way to remember your name, to address you how you like to be called or whatever. Or also like putting us in the position of like being the victims. And I hate feeling like helpless or whatever. So I don't know.
But then I also started to like, even sometimes when I'm in queer circles, I don't introduce myself with pronouns. And like, cause if I'm in a hosting position, I don't say my pronouns. And I feel like I should change that about myself, like be an ally to myself. But at the same time, but at the same time, I just knew she, her, everybody.
But the thing is, like, I feel maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Most, like, the queer bubbles, queer people get it. And I feel like they wouldn't misgender you. If you met like a queer person, I feel like, because I've met so many queer people where we're kicking whatever, and they're like, wait, by the way, what are your pronouns? Yes.
Jinx.
And then they're like,
boom, boom.
Then I'm like, this. And they're like, oh, perfect, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah, I've had those moments too.
And that is so easy and simple.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be like, oh my God. I'm like, can I ask? Yes, you can ask. And even if you're not queer, which is something that's where I'm like, allies need to do their work, because there's just so much that we can do. No, but I feel like queer people in general get it, and because they're in the same position, so they're like, so what are your pronouns? And you're like, okay, let's carry on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like the coming out situation is always gonna be present wherever you go.
Yeah.
In any
Stop
language.
thinking that everybody is just like you.
Yes. Not everybody is like you.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah.
You're so silly. Yeah.
That was a little bit harmonized.
Really?
Yeah. You took the bass. And I took
Oh. I usually go higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't mean you have to go lower.
Oh.
You could just stay there and I can
Yeah.
just... Yeah. Well, we're not harmonizing now.
Oh, okay,
we
sorry.
have embarrassed ourselves enough with singing in the last episode.
I need to shave.
Yeah. Daily coming outs.
Daily coming out
That's
again.
Every day.
Also like dating.
Oof. That I think could be the topic of another episode.
Yes.
Dating. Because then I could just leave the mic here and go have a cigarette while you talk.
Are we not doing an outfit change?
No, the episode is finished.
Oh.
I'm finishing up with the teaser of the next thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
I'm Mama Brownie.
I'm Baby Brownie.
And you were listening to
Unfiltered
and Undiagnosed. Kisses. Oh, we have to XOXO it.
XO.
Oh.
No, wait, because we're two people.
Oh.
XO. Kisses from afar. Mwah.
Oh, we haven't done that forever.
Wait, am I talking?